Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Ophelia. I am Ophelia, and thank you all so much for joining me today. I thought today would be a great day to spend some time in my journal thinking about my word for the year. So I would love for you all to join me. Grab your journal, maybe some color of choice and some collage material or whatever supply it is that you would like, and let us spin this camera around in this space and get busy journaling our word for the year. I hope this is something that you'll enjoy doing. Definitely leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy your time here. Subscribe to the channel, please, and share it with your friends. Definitely ring that little notification bell so that you know when I upload videos, and I shall stop talking, flip my camera around, and get busy in my journal with my word for the year. Thanks, guys. A thank you to jerrysartorama.com for sponsoring In the Studio with Ophelia. Jerry's Artorama has been empowering artists since 1968. I know that shopping at Jerry's allows me the right materials at the right price for a beautiful artistic experience. Okay, I'm going to start this by wetting the background of my sketchbook. I am using Lukas watercolor paints, and I've got some magenta as well as some purple. I'm using a Creative Mark. It's the Harmony Squirrel Quill brush in number 2, and I'm just going to play around with some color and with these two colors until I get it to where it's pleasing for my background. All I really want to do is just get this page covered, not really thinking about the placement of the color too much, just literally getting the background covered. And once I get it the way that I like it, I let it dry, and then I grab some acrylic paints. These are Lukas acrylic paints in titanium white, Indian yellow, and turquoise. And I'm just going to use a palette knife to apply these paints because I want a pretty thin layer so that I don't have to wait too long to get them to dry. And I like the way that the palette knife applies the paint just to get that background covered. I will spend a bit of time here, as you will see, just working with the palette knife, applying the paint. I'm going to get some additional white paint using my finger with some turquoise and just building the background a bit more. Feel free here to pause the video, and if you're working along, to just spend a little bit of time getting the background the way that you want it before we move on. It's going to take me a bit of time, as I usually don't start my pages with an idea, and as I'm working, things just kind of evolve. So I grab a brush, I start blocking in a little bit more of that white to just give myself some, I guess, blank space. Adding a little bit just here and there to build the background, spreading things out. I then will get a spray bottle, spray it down with some water, get a paper towel, and just blend things out a bit. And then in doing so, I realized that that middle space, I wanted to add a bit more yellow, because I think that's where I'm going to, or actually that is where I'm going to put my word of the year, and I wanted that word to be the focus. So I let that dry up, and then I get myself some dictionary pages, And I'm just using some more of that magenta and yellow, actually, to paint some of those dictionary pages, because I'm going to use those in a bit. I also pulled some collagen. This is from a piece of wrapping paper that I had. I cut some pieces out of it, and I'm going to use a glue stick to just glue those down. And once I get it all adhered to the page where I want it, I'm going to grab here some willow charcoal, and I'm just using that to smudge around the outside of the images to make it look as though it's married onto the page and not just glued down. I just like to smudge things or make it look a bit more grunged. And I'm using the Jerry's Jumbo Jet black pencil on that bird cage to kind of draw almost where it looks like a stand. And then I'm using those pieces of paper because I want to add myself like a title block. And so I've got that, as well as some scrapbook paper that I found in my collage pile. And I'm just going to glue those down to create a title block. I'm using the Jumbo Jet black pencil as well as some more charcoal to kind of smudge that. And then I grab a black concept marker, and these are dual tipped, which I like. And so I'm using the smaller edge to make that title. And then I started writing in the word free, and that's going to be my word for the year. And then I'm going to work here on the bottom of more of a journaling block. And then I realized that I don't really like my handwriting there in the middle. So once I finish gluing down that journaling block, I go back to my collage pile, grab myself a piece of ledger paper, and I'm just going to paint it over with some yellow, or Indian yellow, and just completely change the way that I made that look. And then I found an image of a font, or a font, I should say, that I'm going to glue over that entire thing once I get it painted and dried. So I'm gluing down the piece of paper that I painted, and then I'm going to use that as now the background where I'm going to add the font over it. And you can usually find images and collage papers just by doing a search on Google. There's so many out there that you can find. I'm using my glue stick to glue the font down, and then I'm going to go back to my, once I get everything glued down the way that I want, I then get my Lukas watercolor paints again and just color in the letters. And I'm finding that I like this far better than I did my handwriting. Realizing now that I have everything glued down that I did leave a bit too much space there in the middle. So off camera I added a sticker later that you'll see. But for right now I'm just going around everything with my Jumbo Jet black pencil. And then I'll use some charcoal to kind of smudge everything and just make things grunged a bit so that it kind of just look like it belongs there, or it had been there, and not just a piece of paper that's glued down. What I love about the charcoal is that I can smudge it with my finger, and you know, if you go a bit too far, you can always use an eraser to take some things back. And I'm just using some of that magenta. I'm going to color in the letters so that it goes with the title, as well as with that journaling block that I have down on the bottom right corner. And then I'm going to get the smaller edge of that concept marker, and I'm just going to use that bottom block to write in the definition of free. Then I'm just going to kind of smudge around my lettering again, or the font that I've glued down. And then off camera, I just did a little bit more journaling where I put like a note to myself in a pocket, or a little small envelope that I glued to the page, and just spent a little bit of time journaling and kind of reflecting on what that word means to me. And that's kind of where I leave it all off. I will, of course, include a close-up here as well as the finished page. But thank you guys so very much for watching today. And again, thank you, jerrysartorama.com, for sponsoring today's video. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe. I'll leave all the materials down in the description box, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.